Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is GZ the Great, and today I have a tutorial for you on how to use a free backtesting platform and one that you guys will find very useful. But before we get to that, I have to do the YouTube stuff. I need you guys to subscribe, especially if you think that this channel is going in the right direction, is giving you important information as this video will provide, for example. And also I hope that you also like the video to show your support and also have the YouTube algorithm share our content. So without further ado, let's get into the video. And if one of the free backtesting platforms that you can go online is Forexthrive. And I like this backtester so much. It runs on TradingView. It's awesome. It's clean, it's fast. You can simulate, you can adjust like how much you have. You can make trades, and you can go through the whole trading process quite easily. And to find it, you just have to come on Google, for example, or whichever search engine you are using. Just type Forexthrive, right? You have Forexthrive here. And then if I've already searched for Forexthrive, so you have it here. And when you click it, it will ask you to try it for free. You can try it for free. Then they'll ask you to sign in. Sign in using Google or whichever platform. I'm already signed in. And this is how it is. You can create a strategy. You change the strategy name. So maybe if your strategy is for example maybe a long position. Maybe you are using the strategy to test how good you are on some certain long positions, for example. You can type this, excuse me, minimum of 5 characters. So let's say long. Oh, come on. Why is the name being weird? You can set the leverage, for example. You can increase the leverage. I think the max leverage is 100 to 1. Yeah, that's the max. So that's the max leverage. You can set to equity maybe $10,000, 100,000, whichever you want to use. And then your account type, it can be hedging, standard, unlimited. If you want, it can usually be hedged, so that you can also test hedging strategies. And let me try and change this. This is my strategy. Minimum 580 characters. So my this is being weird. Select pairs, you can select like as many pairs as you like. They have most of the standard pairs that people use, like gold, for example, and stuff like that. But I have a max of 3 just allowed, and I already have I had 5 selected, but you can always scale it down back to 3 and check for specific pairs. This platform runs on TradingView, so it looks even better when you have the chart open. But let me go ahead and get the name right, because something okay, you don't want, I guess you don't like spaces in between the names, but it's fine. Strategy, mine, let me see, long strategy, for example. Copy your best, and then you can select the time for your when your simulation starts. It could be maybe instead of May 2012, you can have it in August 2012, for example. And then your last time, you can always set this up. But it usually updates to like the last bar they have. But you can always reset it, and then you can get notifications depending on what you want, like most recent data, take volume and stuff like that. And let's create this section, and then to open a session, you want to come here and play. Right, what looks like the play button and that starts, so you want to play. And it's loading up. It looks nice. I like seeing the background. So one thing you can do with background is you can you hit this button. It looks like the wheel, right? For settings, for example. Then you have how many things you can change. You can change the candles. You can change the style. I like candles. People, if you want to line charts, you can use a line chart. Bars, high kinetic, all that stuff. Candles based on previous close. I like it to have it like this. Borders and wicks and price line, for example, you can change it depending on what you want. The skills are pretty damn good. It's based on TradingView, so you probably don't want to change anything, but you can always change it depending on your own you know, use of the market. And then background, this is why I really like changing. You can always change the background color to maybe a more clear color to see, like white. If you like black, that's there's no problem with that. And you have vert grid lines, horizontal grid lines. I don't want to change that color of that. I think it's fine. This is how my trading view usually looks. So I think it's easier in this way. And then you come to times with the time zones are okay. UTC, that's like GMT, the same. And what have you? There are many other options depending on the time you want. Um, and what you have to do after making a change is that you press OK to save it. Okay. If you don't press OK, and you do cancel and go back there to reverse, for example, if you are changed, there's a background to reverse to what it is. And you can see here the watermark charts by TradingView. One thing you can do, especially if you want to move price forward manually, is that you can stop this and then press this, right? So depending on the time you've set it to move. So you see price move from here to here, because it was on a day. So the D1, which is this is under new order instrument, blah blah. The time frame for one push, for example, you can always change it. So I'm changing it to an hour. Here, I'm going to stop time, and then just have price. You see, when I press the forward button here, price moves one candle. Forward button, price moves one candle. Forward button, one candle, one candle, one candle, and one candle. If we want for a 4 hour, for example, then price will move 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, and so on and so forth. And you can also have price move on its own. You can set your controller. So this button, this thing that's scrolling, for example, this scroll button, depending on where it is, and the closer it is to the end, or the more white that is on the line, depending on that, that's how quickly the price will move. So we're having price like this, and you can see price is moving on its own. It's moving a little bit slow, right? And then it's so much faster now, right? You can see the candles are just moving so quickly. So this is one way to adjust price. And if you want to move one whole day into the future, for example, you can always change this, um, and so on and so forth. Like I already said, you want to move 4 hours, and so on and so forth. This is units, and this is where you determine your lot size. So if like you are someone who trades one lot, for example, one lot is equal to 100,000 units, right? So instead of 1,000 to be two more zeros, that's 100,000 units. That's like one lot. That's one standard lot, and you can have, if you want to buy arbitrarily, for example, you can have a buy here, like we are buying, and we take a market order, for example. And then you can move price and see where price goes, and price is draw down, and now it's in profit, and now it's in profit, blah blah blah. So you can always you can come down here. You have the instrument GP, BJPY side. We are going long. I didn't set any TP or stop loss, so you can set it yourself. You can come here. Let me see what will be a suitable TP, for example, 156,760, right? 156, so it's 760. And then you have your self stop. Sorry, your stop loss at 155,638. Right, 155,638. I'm sorry, 638. for example, right, and now we have our stop loss and TP set. We are up the P&L by 36 pips. That's 460 on a one lot. And you can also close the trade manually by pressing this X button, right? The trade has been closed manually. You can check your close trades here, right? And you can see you profited on this trade. And you have, if you have independent on this, to be under orders, and the summary will give you like all the trades you've taken, and then trade. There's no active trade again, so that's about it. And you can always have like maybe more pending orders, but depending on which kind of pending order you want, you can have a stop pending order or a limit order, and then you can enter the entry prices depending on the side you want to move. And when you are done setting that order, you can choose which side, whether it's a buy or sell, for example. And after choosing that side, you can then submit. And let me do that with this one. So we are having a random sell position here and submit. Right, so you come to orders and you can see that this order is there, it's waiting wherever that level is. And let me just close the order, right? But it's waiting where it would have been waiting wherever that level was, and it's going to execute. Also, how to use different things. So you can have an indicator on your chart. You come here, indicators, and it looks like this. It's right next to the chart properties or the what looks like a settings tool or a wheel. So you click the indicators and you can choose whichever indicator. For example, Bollinger Bands, let's say, for example. And then you press it, it sets the Bollinger Band, and then you can come, there's a wheel, right, for the Bollinger Band indicator. For it to reset, you can reset the length. Maybe you want the length to be 40, for example. You can change the mode to maybe like 6 if you want. For example, style, you can change anything you want about the style. Just press OK and it saves it. Right. This one where you can have your indicators. You can come back down. The last two, if you want to delete your indicator, you can just hit that X like I did, and it deletes it for you. If you want charts to go to the earliest, the most recent data, you can always press this kind of restart button, and it will take you to the closest of where price is. You can press plus to enlarge, and then you can press this minus to decrease the view, and you can move to the left, and you can also move to the right using the left and right button. So this is basically like TradingView also. And then you can add different tools. So you can add a trend line, right? And all those tools that you may want to add on this column, for example. So you can have a trend line to connect maybe two different highs if you want. And you can adjust the color and make settings. Pitchfork, if you want to use pitchforks, for example, you can use one here. Let me make it more, clear. Let's say you just want to add this pitchfork, for example. You can have it. Here, there are other tools. We have a shape pitchfork, modified pitchfork, like have everything, the Gann box, Gann square, fib retracement, for example, which is very popular. So let's say you want to add a fib retracement, for example, here, just to see your retracement levels. And let me take this off so that you guys can clearly see the fib retracement. Just say you want a fib retracement, for example, you can have this easily. There are different tools you can explore. You have a brush, rectangle, right? If you want to show a consolidation box, for example, a rectangle might be necessary. Many things. You have a text, you can type different stuff you want to call out. Also, one thing you can do with your position, if you want to take a position, and let me delete all these. Price is more clear. Let's say you wanted to buy at this high. Let's decrease price. The scale of it just a bit. So let's say you wanted to excuse me, sorry, long position, right? Let's say you wanted to buy at this high. You could always set your long position, and this can be very helpful for you to know a risk reward. So let's say I having a stop loss below this, and then in fact our take profit is all the way here, 2:1, for example, right? You have your risk reward ratio here, stop loss is below, target is here. Yes. So that's one way of doing it. And let's just take this trade. I know it's a more random trade, but like let's just take it just so we can also follow closely what's going on here. So one lot, I guess, we just buy. So I will use like what and to put in a buy trade, and our stop losses over here, right? 155,443. So stop losses 155,443, for example, and then your take profit is all the way at the end. But as price moves down, reset the take profit. Or I can just use this, just decrease. So 159 054, right? 159 054, for example. Set. Then let's see where price goes. And now we can use I'll use a 4-hour one so that price moves a bit more quickly. To our stop loss or to our take profit, for example. And as you can see, price is moving. Okay. And let me decrease a little bit more so that we can set our, and then we can use this to engulf. We can use this to engulf so that we can see where it's going. In fact, I'll just make sure I spread it out so I will see if price goes over the long term, for example, where it is. And I hope you can see that price is climbing, and it looks like it's in a consolidation one, so it's actually going to go. For example, let me try and increase this on the 4-hour, right? They have price moving, and it's already hit our TP, right? Or it has hit our TP on our chart, but I guess I didn't set it as correctly as possible. 561. Let me see. Like, yeah, it hits our TP. It's closed, right? Another win, and this is just a random trade. Don't it's just based on some of the strategies that I teach on my channel. I think some of these kind of breaks and closes, for example, I've already gone through like what you do in this case. So this was a random trade. I didn't even know how to play out, but it's kind of based on the analysis I've made. And yeah, this is how, like, for example, the long position might be helpful for you guys to monitor the trade. And you also can use in the other side, the short position, you have a forecast. You can make forecasts, date range, price range, different things, projections. You can have icons. You can always zoom in and zoom out. And then have your measure you can shift depending on how quickly you want price to shift to the left or the right. You can always set that. So guys, this is the end of the video. If you like it, subscribe. Like the video, for example. Comment and let me know your thoughts. And hopefully I can help you guys out. Depending on what your opinions are in the comments below. So without further ado, I want to say thank you for being here, and I'm happy trading.